In the first video in this series, we discussed engraving a simple silhouette image. But what if the image you want to engrave is a bit more complicated than that, if it has multiple colors? While there's nothing really stopping you from engraving the image exactly as you found it, you might not get the best results if you don't take the time to look at it and edit the image first. There are a variety of photo editing programs out there, the most popular of which is probably Photoshop. However, since not everyone has access to Photoshop, I'll be demonstrating how to do some of these edits with Pixlr, which is an online photo editor. To open Pixlr, open your web browser and go to pixlr.com/editor. So the first thing I'm going to do is open my image. I'm demonstrating with this Campbell camel here, and there is my image. So the first thing to take note of is the engraver obviously cannot engrave the color orange. It will engrave in shades of gray. So the easiest way to view this is to make your image grayscale. In Pixlr, you do this by going to Adjustment, Hue and Saturation, and dragging this little saturation lever all the way to the left, and hitting OK. Now that we're looking at the image in grayscale, we can sort of view it as the engraver would want to print it. The most important thing here is contrast. On the engraver, something that's light gray and something that's medium light gray will probably come out looking about the same. So you want to make sure your various shades are very distinctly different. This image has three colors which have translated to white, gray, and black, and we want to make sure that that gray is a good level between white and black. An easy way to do this is with Levels, which is a tool that Photoshop also has. In Pixlr, it's under Adjustment and Levels. This opens up a histogram window. Histogram just gives you an idea of how the light and exposure is working in your image. If you want to make your whites appear brighter, you drag the right knob over. Our whites are at a pretty good level, so I'm going to leave it where it is. If you want to make your blacks darker, you would drag the lever on the left over. But our blacks are also pretty good in this image, so I'm going to leave it. The one we want to focus on is the middle, which is your midtones. If you drag this left and right, notice how the gray of the camel is changing while the black and white remain the same. I'm going to make it a bit lighter than it was, so that it has a nice contrast with the white and the black. And I'm going to hit OK. This may not seem like much of a difference in this image, but for some images it's the key to making sure that it engraves clearly and correctly. All you have to do now is save this and paste this image in to engrave instead of the original. And that is a quick overview for how to edit the levels and contrast in your images. Go make something awesome.